Hi, it's James from Active, and in this video I want to try to give you some insight into how we built the 2.0 and how our engineers worked to make this a better performing unit with about twice the serviceable hours of any other retail unit on the market. So I wanted to outline some of the changes from a high level that we did to the 2.0 pump, and I'm going to break it out into three separate sections. So first are the seals and O-rings. So obviously they're critical for maintaining pressure within the pump, and they wear out and crack over time. So we really looked at the material of these O-rings and seals, and we began to source some of them from Korea and Japan. And that's going to mean that they'll have longer life because they won't as easily dry out or wear over time. The second part is really around the pistons and the check valves. And in these, we again look to the materials to see if we could improve. And a lot of the typical way people make these today is with kind of reinforced plastic in some of these components, and we were able to change some of them to either stainless steel or brass. And that really is going to result in less wear over time, again, going towards that whole longevity piece. The last part is around the wobble plate and bearings, and we looked at the material of the wobble plate, which typically is in aluminum, and kind of looked at the composition of that aluminum and made some changes. And for the bearings, we just sourced higher quality bearings, and these are coming from Japan. And those changes, again, all kind of contribute towards the pump being able to last longer under different conditions. Now I want to talk about some of the changes we've done to the motor itself in order to kind of match up the 200-hour target that we're doing. So we've made some, again, changes to sourcing of things like the GFCI, where we're getting a better quality one. We've changed to kind of a very basic rocker switch, which we found to be the absolute most reliable type of design and switch, because ultimately we don't want a component like that failing. And then some of the internal components that we've changed are, for example, the micro switch. We've made some improvements to that. We've also changed some of the materials in that design. We've improved the carbon brush in the motor itself, as well as the commutator. We've made some changes to that, all in the objective of getting at least 200 hours out of the motor. So that, in addition to the pump changes, and constant testing, is going to get us to that number. So I know we're going to get the question, why stop at 200 hours? Couldn't you have gone even further than 200 hours? And the answer is, of course, yes. And so some of the changes that we've actually incorporated into this unit here can actually last 300 to 400 hours, by itself. The problem is it's always what is the weakest link in this chain, and what are we comfortable rating the unit at? So we felt that 200 hours was a safe and achievable goal, and obviously we kept refining and studying which components, again, within that whole kind of price bracket, could get us to 200. Some of the learnings that we've taken from this project, however, will be fed into some of our further developments down the road when we're developing that kind of semi-commercial professional version of pressure washer that will be coming out. And some of the parts that we upgraded here, there were additional upgrades we could have done, but they just didn't make sense from a cost value point of view. And again, going back to that point, is that this is only going to last as long as its weakest link. So it really didn't make sense to upgrade some of the components to a 500 or 600 hour kind of life cycle when some of the other components just wouldn't last beyond 200 or 300 hours. So that was kind of the thinking behind it, but we will be coming out with a even better version or more commercial version that will compete at a higher level in the near future. So I hope you've enjoyed and got some information on what makes the 2.0 different and some of the work and kind of engineering that went behind the unit here. I think that's really what we're trying to do with the 2.0, is really trying to tailor a product based on the feedback from our users in the market and what we think they will value in a pressure washer. This is not a off-the-shelf product. This is engineered from the ground up by our team, and we're very proud of the unit and excited to get it into your hands.